This is Townscaper. It's not really a game, but that's fine because it's really cool. You can see this is my weird little island town that I've made. It's got a really tall tower in the back. It's got this crazy weird building in the middle here, and all these little colorful buildings on the sides. It's so great. I made this. I made this myself using this game because that's what it's for. It's for making things exactly like this. So let's have a look at how this works. So when you start a brand new game of Townscaper, you just got open ocean, and you click on stuff. You just kind of get this little, little squares that pop up everywhere on the sides of walls, on the ground, and you can just sort of build yourself a little foundation. And each time you build something, it doesn't just appear, it pops up and makes a noise, and it scatters the water. You can also right-click to make stuff go away. Doop-de-doop, like that. And then, let's pick a color here. Let's go blue. And then you can make little blue houses, and they pop up wherever they land. And you can make them tall. Oh, they're so cute. Look, somebody hung their laundry. Look at that. Like each time you add something, weird little details crop up that you were not anticipating. But let's say we don't want the laundry there. Let's say we want it to be an arch. Boink. Now it's an arch. And it kind of goes over that little canal. That's great. Let's make this kind of a four-way canal intersection here. Oh, listen to that sound. It's so cute. Oh, it's like a puppy pooping in a bathtub. It's just the greatest little noise. Okay, so there, something like that. All right, so if we want to, we could actually just do a four-way arch straddling this entire thing. Oh, look at that. So I noticed on this one, I didn't actually put a leg right there. And so it just gave me a stilt instead to support the weight of that. So let's leave it like that. That's kind of cool, right? So Wolfo78 says, why does this remind me so much of the picture of water flowing upwards in an aqueduct? That optical illusion. It does kind of have a little bit of that flair to it. It looks, everything you built here looks kind of like it's like medieval fantasy. So yeah, so let's make this a little bit taller. Boom, 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 boom. And then maybe we actually should fill it in right here. Boom. Oh, look at that. Okay, so let's change colors now. Let's say, or maybe kind of a beige or a yellow. Let's go yellow. All right, so now let's build on top of this. Oh. It's interesting seeing how the procedural system decides what gets a roof and what doesn't, right? This is just fascinating to me. What are the rules? It's just, I mean, this must contain so many individual pieces of art, so many complicated rules about which art to use where and how to blend them with each other. It's just fascinating to me, just imagining the furious activity that's going on in the brain of this machine while it's figuring out what to do here. So what happens if oh, there. So look at that. So if I decide to just sort of build out sideways, that's how that goes. I can just sort of like snake this thing around like a little worm. I mean, I'm doing insane things. And this game, oh look, the roof went away because I joined a beam onto it here. So, I mean, I just made something really stupid, and this game still somehow manages to make it look okay. Which is just very amusing to me. Oh, look at that. Okay, so I add one more thing, and it decides this is a walkway instead of a building. All right, so let's build a tower here. So it looks kind of like a lighthouse. Am I building a lighthouse? Is that what this is? Maybe I'm building like a little tiny fishing village with a lighthouse. So let's go back to kind of the bluish territory here, and let's build a tiny building down below. It's just like these little spidery little supports here making this thing stand up are just so weird and crazy to me. Okay, let's build another little thing right here. And then, yeah, that looks good. Little house with a little roof. There we go. So you can, I've seen some people post on Twitter and other places towns that they've made with this that look really, really good. They look, like, wow, that really is a layout that could exist in the real world. And, if we wanted to do that here, we totally could. But for me, a lot of the fun of Townscaper is intentionally making weird stuff and seeing how the system handles it. So, look, you build a roof and it gets birds on it, and then you build on it again and the birds have to fly away. I mean, what the heck? Somebody is having so much fun with this. I mean, you can actually see like the person who made this has been posting on Twitter for a really long time, just all of the nonsense that they've been up to. And it has been very fun to watch them work. All right, so yeah, we got this little building right here. Maybe it's got a cute little tower on this side. Okay, so now what do we want to do? Everything about this is really intuitive too. Like, there's no point where it teaches you how to navigate. You just try, holding the right button, using WASD, and things just kind of work, close enough at least to the way you want them to. All right, let's extend this a little bit further. Let's get another spot to build up a little building. Oh, that's kind of a nice one. All right. And then notice it builds these little staircases down to the shore whenever it can. And one thing I really like to do for some reason is building two things next to each other, making them taller and taller, and then eventually joining them together. because I can. Because there's nothing there's never a point where you highlight a spot and say, hey, I want to build something here, and the game says no. The game never says no. It only says, oh yeah, sure, that's what this looks like. And maybe sometimes you're like, oh, I don't like how that looked, and you want to take it back, and that's fine. But it never says you're not allowed to do that. Like, that's just not in the repertoire of this game. Which, I mean, that's a very difficult standard to set for yourself, but it works so well. So Joshua Schluter says, this looks like a town I'd want to explore in an adventure game, right? So, like, you would probably, where would you see? Oh, do we not have any stairs left? Oh, I think we've gotten rid of all the stairs. Well, that's not good. Let's build on here, see if we can get some stairs going on. I don't know what makes stairs appear. Oh, wait. Oh, here's a little ladder. Okay, yeah. So it looks like, you would sort of drive your boat up to here. You'd climb up, get inside this building, right? Then you'd come out this other door, and, and then you could kind of go up inside this building here. You could, through this door, you could step out on this balcony. Or you could come out this door over here, up on the higher balcony, and then go into the lighthouse tower, right? Or you could come downstairs, come out this door right there, and come over and get into this building right over here. Like, this whole thing is navigable. You don't have a character to run around, but theoretically this is navigable. If, you could, theoretically, export this into something and actually run around in it. Like, you sort of imagine that has to be possible, right? Yeah, so Rachel Croson says that exact thing. Imagine if you could build a town and then go explore it. I think, like, I would love it. I'm not, whoever developed this, I love their priorities. I love the decisions they made. I will not presume to tell them what they should do. But I would love it if it were possible for me to basically get a Google Street View approach to this. Like, let me sort of walk around in this little town. One of the problems is you'd probably have to like enter a door and then exit another door without the interiors. Trying to put interiors in this sounds like it would be crazy. But then again, maybe that's not crazy for this person. Maybe whoever it is made this world where there's just this system that never says no to you. Maybe it's entirely possible for them to create interiors to go with these exteriors. I mean, I'm not going to tell them what's impossible. They're not telling me that anything I want to do is impossible. So, anyway, so that is Townscaper. I mean, we could keep building this all day, which actually would be really fun. This is also a really fun sort of tactile activity to do while you're focusing on something else. Just sort of noodling around with a town while you're, for instance, in a Google meeting, or watching a TV show, listening to a podcast. It can be a lot of fun. So I highly recommend that people go out and try out Townscaper. Just the tactile feel of putting together a town and then getting to step back and look at this crazy thing that you've created. It feels so good. I could totally imagine using this. Like, my children, for instance, have gotten interested in getting into pen and paper role-playing games. And I've been sort of debating about, how much preparation do I want to put into making something like that? It might be interesting to set an RPG, a tabletop RPG in, sort of an island kingdom or an archipelago or a city full of canals or something like that, something that's appropriate for this, and then use this to build your world out, and sort of make a beautiful little world. Print out screenshots of it or put them on a screen and let people see where they are, and then use it to drive maps from it. There's all kinds of things you could do. So anyway, that is that game. That is Townscaper. So I'm going to wrap up right now, but definitely please go check this game out. I mean, somebody put a ton of work into making everything you want to do in this game happen, and that's just no small thing. And the end result is gorgeous, and so I want them to get as much out of this work as they can. Even though it's not a game, it's a toy, and I love playing with toys.